Hi everyone, today we have some notes on dilutions. These will be guided notes, so you can fill these notes out with me as I go through them. These notes will be located on Classroom. So dilution is the process of reducing the concentration of a solute in solution, usually simply by mixing with more solvent. 95% of the time, that's going to be water. Another way to remember concentration too, a lot of times we're going to call that molarity. So molarity is a concentration. Now the dilution equation we're going to be using, M1V1 equals M2V2, where M1 and V1 are molarity and volume, molarity and volume. So M1 and V1, they're the same on both sides, except M1, V1, solution 1, we're going to call that stock solution. Solution 2, we're going to call our final solution. There are some other words you might hear. Stock also can be called original. Final can also be called new. So just beware, those are different names you can hear for stock and final. Volumes must be in liters, the unit of liters. So let's go ahead and work through some example problems with molarity. So what volume of 12 molar HCl must be used to prepare 1 liter of a 0.5 molar solution of HCl? So let's write out what we know. So we have stock and we have final. For stock, generally speaking, it's going to be the higher molarity substance. Not generally, always will be. So I see 12 molar HCl. However, I don't see a volume that goes along with it. So for the stock, all we know is it's 12 molar. Now, for the final, what are we trying to make? We're trying to make 1 liter of a 0.5 molar solution. So I know two things there. So for final, I'm going to know 1.00 liter, and I'm also going to know 0.50 molar. So once we know stock and final, let's go ahead and set up our M1V1 equals M2V2. So M1, I know it's, oops, don't want to add extra sig figs. I know it's 12 molar, multiplied by V1. I don't know what V1 is at this point. M2, 0.50 molar. V2 is going to be 1 liter. Now looking at my sig figs in this case, I have for 12 molar, that has 2. For 0.50, that has 2. For 1.00, that's going to have 3. So what's the lowest number of sig figs we have? In this case, it's going to be 2. So our answer should have 2. Now to solve this, I'm going to multiply the right side together first and then divide that result by 12. So when I solve for volume 1 in this case, I'm going to get an answer of 0.042 liters. So solving for V1, I get 0.042 liters. Moving on to the second example. So we have water added to 0.15 liters of a 6.00 molar HCl solution to give a final volume of 525 milliliters. What is the concentration molarity of the final solution? So let's write down what we know in this case. So stock, and we have final. So now it says water is added to 0.15 liters of a 6 molar HCl solution. So if I added water to it, that means this was my stock solution. Now I also see an ending volume of 525 milliliters. That'll suggest that's my final solution. So writing down first what I know, so on the left, what I have highlighted, that's going to be for my stock. So I have 0.150 liters and it's at a molarity of 6. So that's for my stock. For final, I don't know the molarity. I do know volume. I also did say above that things needed to be in liters. So I'm going to do a little conversion. This is going to be 0.525 liters. So that's taking 525 milliliters divided by 1,000. Now writing it into M1V1 equals M2V2. This time we know both M1 and V1. So for molarity 1, it's going to be 6.00 molar multiplied by my volume of 0.150 liters equal to, I don't know M2, but I do know the volume 2, which is going to be 0.525 liters. Now, to solve this, I'm going to multiply the left side, then divide it by 0.525. So solving for molarity 2 gives me 1.71 molar for a molarity. Now, a couple tips as you go through this. I am calling the left side always stock and the right side final. Now, really what you're looking for in these problems is look for things grouped together. So up here where you're looking at things that I highlighted. So right over here, 0.150 and 6, they're paired right next to each other. So honestly, if you put it on the left side of this equation or on the right side, it's really not going to matter as long as they're kept together. Whereas I see 0.525 liters over on the right there. As long as that's by itself, it'll solve either way. So you could say the equation could be flipped. But keeping M1, M2 separate does, kind of help from time to time. Now your homework for the day is going to be to answer the remaining 3 questions on this worksheet. Feel free to contact us with any questions.